All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Philadelphia Eagles. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So after the run by Jay Ajayi, here's 1st and 10. Wentz now on 1st down. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the first. They'll toss it to Ajayi. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Anthony Barr coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of start and comes through clean.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Charles Tapper in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
81. Here we go, D. Hey, just please. Run.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 40. A heck of a play there on 3rd down, but amazingly, they're still short for 4th. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. The Vikings after it, and they get there for the sack. The Eagles unable to convert there on fourth. And on the opening drive of the afternoon, the defense forces a turnover on downs. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. The corner Ronald Darby comes up to get him.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Back to throw. Higgins. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. They'll begin the drive with a Ajayi. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Run.
From midfield, here's Wentz. Ertz has it left side. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Here's Ajayi. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Now, remember, they were unsuccessful earlier in this first quarter. Going for it on 4th. They're going to try a second time.
4 down. Check. Here.
From the gun, it's Wentz. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13 and the decision to go for it. Looks like a smart one. Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Working from the gun, Wentz dancing to his left. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. The wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it, no one got it. Wentz will try again on 2nd down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. Now, keep in mind, they did have 3 interceptions last week. Couldn't quite come up with a first quarter pick that time.
But they had to like what they saw in terms of reacting when the ball is thrown. We had an expression when I played. It was called break on it. Every time the quarterback puts the ball in the air, break on the football. Go.
Trying for the tight end, Ertz, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with third down looming. The offense on third down tonight, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're looking at third and a few inches. This is Ajayi. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. They lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on third down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over, and it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him, but whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Higgins. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
To throw on 2nd down. Higgins finds a seam inside the 40. And he finds a man on a crossing route. First grab so far for Diggs. It's a 1st down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a 2-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Look at the dance and the juke. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
On 1st down, Higgins. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Fletcher Cox busting through to get him for a loss of 6. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Looking to throw. Higgins. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. They'll run it now out of the gun. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning it into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
To throw on 3rd down. Higgins. And that's complete to Croft. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. Operating from the gun. Higgins finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Back to throw. Higgins. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your...
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Back near the goal line. Here's Wentz. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now Wentz. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line. On 1st and 10, Higgins. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Frazier. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this.
Flex round! Flex round!
They'll run with Cook, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I'm getting the sense that Fletcher Cox is making offensive linemen want to take the week off when they have to play against him.
It's a regular routine for him, isn't it?
It really is. That play there, that's him all day long. Good luck trying to block in and keep him from disrupting your offense.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. Now, definitely be a disappointment to come out of this starting position with just 3 points. They need to try to dial something up now, 3rd and 10.
Here we go!
They'll go with a keeper, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. It's their quarterback. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Carlson now to kick this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you're looking to plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Throwing on first is Wentz. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. Count them now, 6 interceptions between last week and this week. Now, the 3 picks last week helped them to a win. They're in the driver's seat once more.
And they're the ones that are doing all the leading, aren't they? Right? The 3 interceptions last week, that led
under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down.
Let's go!
From the gun, Higgins. That's complete to Whitaker. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Operating from the gun, Higgins. And he's able to find Diggs. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Throwing on first down, Higgins. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. The Vikings on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Flex round! Flex round!
From the gun, Higgins. Open man is Thielen is complete. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Tyler Kroft in the final seconds of the first half. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is now 17-3. Carlson now to kick this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He sets to fire deep. This is caught inside the 15. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Set to return. Here's Raheem Mostert. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
This quarterback now 14 out of 17, 82%, and it's 1st and 10. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
But sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
On 3rd down, Higgins. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. Wentz now 9 of 17 through the air.
82.
Wentz going to throw. Drops it off to Ajayi. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On play action, it's Wentz. And the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. They've really been able to contain Alshon Jeffrey. That catch a rare exception in this game.
And that's a feather in their cap because he's such a tone setter for his team on offense that they try and get him the ball early. And, of course, what comes after that is often. And for them to limit him.
And he is going to be wrapped up and slung to the turf. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. To throw is Wentz. Caught right side is Jeffrey. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. A good pickup there. 18 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Wentz going to try and throw on 3rd. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. Wentz now on 1st down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Harrison Smith. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Wentz. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Shotgun now for Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, but I believe it was covered by an Eagle. It was, and Philadelphia is going to hold on to the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Wentz now on 3rd and goal. Flushed out right. And now here is another interception. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Higgins, throw left side complete. It's Frazier. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Again, it's Cook. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 1st down, Higgins. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the safety, Eric Reed. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Wait a second. They did not accept that after the incompletion. Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's 3 yards. Now wins. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. Now Wentz. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
Grade 15, grade 15. 81, 81.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Wentz. Wide open receiver complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Let's go.
From midfield, here's Wentz. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now Wentz again. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off near the 29. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. They give it and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They run it again with Cook. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call. But for a second there, I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
Going deep for Diggs. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there.
Here we go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Higgins. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the safety, Eric Reed. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirt.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And that's incomplete. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The Eagles on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Working from the gun, Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the play. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
They dump off underneath to Ajayi. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it's a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Hey, we got 3 down. 82. Motion. Shorty.
Now Wentz. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A first carry now for Kofrani Muhammad. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 36. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he had won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001 to throw 7 picks. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. That good for 19 and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Handoff comes to Cook. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And now running right through him. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. 4th quarter, you've got the lead. You have to stay in bounds and run that clock. Coaches, that'll drive them crazy.
Sacrifice a yard or 2 if you have to. Just go down, inbounds, keep that clock going. It's almost like he was caring more about his fantasy stats than it was about winning the game. That has to drive a coach crazy.
And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Higgins. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Derek Barnett in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. A give. This is Cook. Space to run past the 20. And he's all the way down to the 6-yard line. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Calling a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. 3rd and goal.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Tyler Kroft with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
This will be taken very short. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive.
And, my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find the spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Throwing to start the drive. Higgins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the...
In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And what else could go wrong at this point? This is going to be a defensive touchdown as they keep piling it on. That's something you have to be wary of on your side of the field, that close to the goal line. The defense, they are looking for that football. They got it. They scored it.
You are so right, and the quarterback has to speed things up himself. So close to the goal line, they're going to get after you. Make sure you get rid of the football and in a safe place.
This one taken just inside the 10. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one goes for 24 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Looking to throw on second down. Higgins, throw left side on target to Thielen. That catch good for 5. It's third down. The Vikings on third down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This is 3rd and 4. Now Cook. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
On first down, Lance. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. The Eagles on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This will be 3rd and a mile. Wentz to throw again. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence. that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do